Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 365.
365.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Several new offers were announced this past week, including a Magic is Here package offer for 2020. And that is available now. And if you are looking to travel this year or 2021, check out MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. They have been booking trips since 1998, which is the year that Disney's Animal Kingdom Park opened.
So we're going to start off at the Magic Kingdom, and I'll let you take over because this was your morning.
Yeah, I went for a couple of hours. I think it was Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really surprised at this. We don't normally go to the parks for opening because they can be I thought they were a little busier, but it turns out it wasn't that busy for opening time at the Magic Kingdom. And I really enjoyed seeing all of the different ferry boats here. There were 3 of them right here, and it was sort of like a cruise port. I've never seen so many just like right here that I can even remember.
Well, it's great. It looks like they are fully prepared just in case there is a large crowd all coming at once in the morning.
Well, I mean, they're not putting so many guests on them, so they're just trying to get everybody over with social distancing. But I don't know how many people were on my boat, but it was a really nice morning.
And you arrived fairly early. I think you pulled into the toll booth about 8:30 or so.
No, 8:15.
Oh, 8:15.
A few minutes before 8:15, and I think they did open the toll booth at 8:15, and it wasn't too crazy at all. And then I parked, and I ended up getting the second ferry boat. If I had gotten the first, I would have gotten over probably like 10 to the Magic Kingdom maybe 10 minutes earlier.
And I just saw in the distance there, they are still working on the new boat dock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it looked not that much different than the last time I think we visited, which was, last week.
Look at all those people running into the kingdom.
Yes, you can see it's really quiet, and I just want to say it wasn't like it was fully quiet all day, because when I was leaving, there were quite a few guests coming, not crazy amounts, but more guests.
But this is insane. I mean, this is opening. This is as the park is opening here, and it looks like a smattering of guests.
We have kept from going at this time of the morning because I'm so used to everybody wanting to be there early, or at least a good amount of people early. And it was a very, very pleasant experience.
And what a welcome. The Big Cheese himself
Yes.
is welcoming you into the park.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like a little welcome. I don't know what time they start, but I'm assuming it's from, maybe 20 to 25 minutes or something, and it ended just at about 9 o'clock.
And it looks like you're seeing the Pooh characters again on the trolley, all the usual experiences going on first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I walked in, and then you had Mickey and everybody up on top of the train station, performers and all, and then this started right afterwards. So it was such a nice active morning of if you just stood here, so much is going on.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. I wish I could have gone. I know you also had some errands to do, and I was working here at home, but after seeing the video, it looked like a very peaceful, quick visit.
I was a little nervous because I didn't know how many guests get there early, and I was like, we've talked about even looking at the Tron construction from the Astro Orbiter, and actually, I really like the Astro Orbiter.
Mm-hmm.
I've liked it since it was Starjets when I was a kid.
And you said they're only putting one party at a time on the elevators, which is, I think, a very, very good idea.
Right, and there was almost no wait. Like you saw, there was one person in front of me, and as soon as I got there, he went in an elevator, and seconds later, I went in an elevator.
And I should restate, that is the gantry lift, to be more specific.
And I took just a little bit. I was a little dizzy. After trying to take video, it was a little harder.
And I see they're doing work on the train tracks there.
I think that they started around this time. We'll see more on Tuesday. We're going back to the kingdom on Tuesday. But you could see the Tron construction there in the distance. And I know I took also the Tomorrowland Speedway at one point. It didn't look too much different than the last time. Now I'm walking through Fantasyland, the Little Mermaid area, and there's unlike today where Gaston's Tavern just reopened yesterday, it was not open on this day. There was almost nobody here, and so I was like, okay, well, I'll ride Mermaid, and I did.
And it was just a walk-on for Mermaid.
Yeah.
We've done Mermaid almost every time we've been to the parks because there's been no wait.
But there was nobody inside, and so there's difference between a walk-on and nobody else in the queue with you. I think one person was coming in behind me. So this is just I would just want to show my walkthrough here. And again, I know we're going to show it. Guess we're coming not too much later. It's just that first, there was no first rush of the morning.
Yeah, it's just so hard to, I guess, for us to get used to that no first rush after being used to a tremendous rush normally.
Well, Disney's Hollywood Studios has the rush because of Rise of the Resistance. And you would think like everybody would get here just so they could, get a few rides in or something. But it wasn't like that at all. Mine Train was down at this time as well.
Well, I know a lot of the Halloween treats were supposed to be debuting this coming Tuesday, the 8th, but they've all arrived early, and I saw very big lines for the Madame Leota Sipper.
Yeah, I don't know and you can see Fantasyland here, which is much busier today because of weekend and Labor Day.
Right.
And I was really wishing I would have time for the riverboat because I really wanted to grab a ride on it.
And that just recently reopened, by the way. The last time I was at the Kingdom with you, it was still not running.
Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't even go into the Haunted Mansion, which probably had no wait at this time. When I walked through Fantasyland, that was not too long before I was leaving. So let's say 10:30 a.m. and I'm probably here.
And here it's starting to pick up. This is your last shot that you did. All this was from the iPhone, by the way, and a great job.
Thank you. I mean, you can see how it was starting to pick up at that point.
So now it's the next day. It's last Thursday here, and we are at Epcot, a beautiful but very hot day. The heat index, it said 99.
That's not heat index.
No. Oh, okay. The actual temperature
that
said
was a
99.
temperature.
But the feel real was like 115, so it was really hot this day.
I didn't look at the feel, what it felt like. I just knew 99, and because there was no rain, it didn't let up. I think it was even like 90 into the evening and like 97 at 7 p.m. We did 10 miles on foot on this day with our stuff.
I'm still recovering.
Yeah, I think you are.
It was a heck of a day, but it was a good day. I would not change a thing. I had a great time. And this was when we first arrived, so we're not too hot yet. And we're looking at some of the construction on the Guardians of the Galaxy show building, the former Universe of Energy building.
Right, Cosmic Rewind. And you can see they have their umbrellas. I can't even imagine. Think of it, it's almost 100 degrees at this point, and they are on top of metal like that.
Well, never mind those guys. Wait till you see these construction workers over here. Imagine how hot it is on this gold dome.
I don't think either of them would be cool. I think the metal though reflects so much. I don't know if I could do that. And they had all kinds of workers here at the Play Pavilion.
Well, you could see the Play Pavilion, the dome is really starting to take shape. It's getting to be much more gold in color like the original version was. So it's, it had faded over time, and it looks like it's going to be great when they're done.
Yeah, I don't know when they'll be opening either Cosmic Rewind or the Play Pavilion. They were supposed to be done in time for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World next year, and it could still be the case. I mean, they were behind probably at least by a couple of months now, but both projects were fairly busy when we passed by.
And it was interesting to watch them put the little golden caps on the corners of all the triangles. So I enjoyed watching that.
I didn't even know what to call them. I just thought it was just very interesting to see that. And there were cats. There were cats here.
I can't believe we missed the cats.
Josh
Theme Park University.
Posted the cats, and I'm like, we were in the park. Like, we missed the cats later in the day.
Yeah, well, it was much. I mean, this was much earlier.
Climbing like Mission Space.
So now we're going to take a look, just the tease of some of the merchandise. We'll see a lot more of that later. This is in mouse gear. These are some of the 25th anniversary of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival with Remy and Emile.
And I just want to say, while we're looking at it, I like some of the merchandise. I'm a big fan especially of Remy.
We'll see plenty of that later on in the show.
And we're looking at some Dooney and Bourke's now. The Ratatouille is my favorite Pixar movie. But I'm really thinking about that. This was such a big year for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, 25 years. And it really hit me as I was looking at the merchandise that says the 25 on it. And I just, it's really sad because, we normally have the concerts and the Party for the Senses and all of more booze and more people. And so this is going to be, hopefully next year they can make it,
extra
one.
special next year. At least it's still open, though, so people get a taste. I guess they call it the
Taste of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
So we're actually leaving the festival, though, and leaving Epcot. We're going to take a Disney Skyliner on over to one of the resorts, and we'll tell you a bit more about that. But first, we're going to take a look at some of this Remy's Ratatouille adventure construction.
Well, it's really the France expansion, which Remy's Ratatouille adventure certainly anchors it, but they're going to have the creperie. But right now they're doing landscaping. It looks really good in there, and I look forward to seeing when will open. It was supposed to open in the summer.
I want to mention something kind of unrelated. Right now we're in a Disney Skyliner, and I know last year there was a big deal about what it would be like on a hot day, and this is probably the hottest day I have been on a Disney Skyliner, and it was fine. It was actually quite cool.
And I wear my mask the whole time, unless I'm sipping a drink,
right,
even inside the Skyliner, just because if somebody's been in there without a mask, I just don't know. So I leave it on. Why not? And I love riding the Disney Skyliner, and it wasn't too bad as far as I didn't think about it as far as heat and all that. And you can see the fountain there, and it's going to be similar to the one at Disneyland Paris, Walt Disney Studios Park. It looks like it could be a little bigger, but we'll see when we actually eventually get inside.
And we'll talk much more about this as we return, because of course we have to go right by all this construction again. But the point of taking the Skyliner is we're heading over here to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort for lunch.
And I really we only dine outside right now. And so Banana Cabana at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, every time we take the Skyliner, like to check out the France Pavilion, it's like, oh, Banana Cabana's open. It looks so good. And I check the menu, and they have like jerk chicken sandwich.
And we know we like the jerk chicken there because we've had it right next door at Sebastian's before. It was so good. And here's a quick look at the pool. We're going to just sort of establish where the Banana Cabana is. And one thing that I had not noticed before, if you look up there on the ledge and the roof there, we have this little owl overlooking the bar, which I have not noticed in previous visits.
There are a lot of fun elements to Banana Cabana, and remember they had undergone a big refurb, as really all of Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort did, as the Disney Riviera Resort was being built. So a lot had changed, but I really enjoy it.
And it looks like Sebastian's is temporarily closed at the moment. So we've had lunch there before when it first opened, and tried it a number of times, but hopefully it'll be coming back.
Yeah, Sebastian's Bistro has not reopened with the resort, and you'll see if you do visit here this year, there are quite a few shops and quite a few restaurants that are not currently open. It was nice to have a little taste of Sebastian's Bistro here, though, at Banana Cabana.
I remember when it was just the tiny little pool bar in previous incarnations. So here's how it works. They'll bring you a little slip with a barcode. You use your phone to pull up the menu, and then you just give the waiter or waitress your order. And in our case, we ordered a couple drinks, and we ordered a few food items. But it was very convenient.
Well, we ordered the jerk chicken sandwich, and then we ordered the Sebastian salad with jerk chicken, and it was like $1 more if you wanted shrimp instead of chicken.
Right. Both of those were only $15 each.
And then we also ordered the Caribbean Smuggler, which is what you had, and then I had a Caribbean Mai Tai.
Right, and here is my Smuggler, and that was quite refreshing. Actually, I think you preferred that, and normally you're a Mai Tai girl.
No, I actually really like the Mai Tai as well, but yours tasted almost like a punch, which was kind of nice as well. But I was happy with mine as well. I like rum.
Well, I've spoiled you by making the Mai Tais at home now. So.
Yeah, well, you make a really good one, and this one was decent, but it's nice to be able to have them anytime at home too.
And I thought it would be nice to kind of show our view here. And what a nice view. We got to kind of chat and watch the Disney Skyliner go by. It wasn't too crowded. Obviously, nobody's going to sit in that seat in direct sun when it's 100 degrees out.
Generally not, no. And I just love the Disney Skyliner and being able to come over here like we were, like we did. So this is a jerk chicken sandwich, and it has a toasted baguette and pineapple, roasted chili, mayo, and fries. and it was really nice sandwich. And then standard Disney fries.
And it came served to go, but they did bring us plates and utensils and everything. So
paper plates.
Right,
Everything's
paper plates.
everything's
Disposable,
in paper.
right.
And the salad was really good. And same chicken. And then it was a really heavy amount. They really served a lot. We were really stuffed when we were finished with the meal. We just split everything in half. But the chicken is delicious here. And this is $15. Shrimp would have been $16. Just a very nice taste, a very good lunch, just a very good lunch.
Yeah, I would absolutely go back and do that again. I think I'm just going to show a shot of how we kind of were able to plate the dishes.
And also, the salad has avocado and black beans and a cilantro lime vinaigrette. It really is a very unique salad. It was just, when you look at it, it looks like it's all chicken, but there's, other elements inside.
So yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that we did it. It was a nice break, especially on the warm day. Nice to kind of get away and have a relaxing lunch.
And just to be, have a table service meal outside, which the parks don't have a lot of that. A little bit.
It was the first one that we've done on Disney property, actually.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't know. And we're doing City Works tomorrow. And we're talking about Haleo at Disney Springs as well for magical dining.
Right. I was so excited to hear they have an outdoor patio.
We didn't even realize.
That'll be wonderful. So anyway, we decided to walk over to the Caribbean Beach station of the Disney Skyliner. We had gotten off at the
Disney's Riviera Resort, and we walked over instead to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort because it's an easier station. That's where it starts from. So getting a gondola there is very simple.
Plus, it was nice to have a round trip walk too.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see a little more of the resort. So right now we're looking into the France expansion again, and you can see a lot of the details. This is the entryway for what will be Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. You can really see it if you look at photos of the one in Walt Disney Studios Paris.
Or watch our video.
Yes, you can see those booths. They're like movie booths.
Like ticket booths.
Yeah, for like old style French theaters.
And in France anyway, one of those is a single rider entrance, and there's a fast pass entrance and a regular entrance. Who knows what's going to happen though? With if it opens with the pandemic still going on, I'm sure they won't be having a single rider.
Yeah, there's just no way to know. I mean, if they open it, let's say they opened it next year instead of this year, it could still be quite some time before everything is quite back to normal. So it'll probably just be easing back into it.
And we're just looking at a little of that landscape work, a little closer up as we're walking back into the International Gateway. And they were actually working on it. These trees are new to us, so it looks very beautiful, very much like being in Paris.
I miss being in Paris too. I was really hoping that we might be able to get there for even the holidays this year, but I think it will be a while.
Yeah, I think
probably
it'll be
2021.
It'll be
sometime.
a little while too.
So I miss it, but it's nice to have a little more of France opening up here at some point, in the coming months. But it looks so much close to done though.
So now we're walking around World Showcase here, and I hadn't noticed the sign in Morocco. I guess they're trying to let the guests know there are shops open back into the country. So that's very important. Actually, you wouldn't necessarily know that. A lot of shops are closed.
It is a fairly new sign. And as we were walking around, we saw the Frozen cavalcade coming. I think it's called the Frozen Promenade.
We were actually sitting on a bench when I recorded this video. That is the ultimate, when you can be on a bench just catching your breath and you can record a video. So that was wonderful.
And I just want to mention that Epcot, all of the parks are going to have shortened hours coming on September 8th. And I'm a little disappointed they didn't choose to extend into a little later for Epcot. Like, they're going to be closing at 7. And you can see it's not busy here, but as the day progresses, generally gets a little busier with guests getting off of work and maybe coming in and having a margarita or something or some food.
Yes, much more so at Epcot than any of the other parks. All the other three definitely clear out by the end of the day. Epcot is the one where you'll see more guests at the end of the day.
And we'll see that later. So I was surprised that they would kind of cut that off. So here we have, I think it's, again, a promenade, probably Princess Promenade. And we have Belle and Princess Aurora, Jasmine, and Snow White.
And they're all separated by those little dividers there, so socially distant.
Yeah, trying to stay healthy.
But no masks. No masks. On them.
You know what? Disney didn't do it. I was hoping that they, would change their minds, but they didn't. So
here we are in Germany, one of my favorite places to relax. And we're here because we found out they have one of my favorite drinks from Germany, Mezzomix, but a frozen Mezzomix. So, of course, we had to get that to cool off a little bit.
And you just got the non-alcoholic version. There's also an alcohol version, which you might try this coming week, maybe, that includes honey and bourbon liqueur. But that is the frozen Mezzomix. It's
good.
It's not a huge portion drink size, but it is from Germany, and it's something you can't get almost anywhere else.
Well, I was so spoiled when we were in Paris last year for the IAPA Expo, the Europe one. They had all-you-can-drink frozen Mezzomix. Remember that?
Yes, I remember. And this is a Mozart pumpkin spice, chocolate cream pumpkin spice, which is obviously sort of a limited flavor because it's of the pumpkin part. It looks really good. It's very popular. She said they sold out on the first day. That's in I think it's the wine cellar, wine cellar. That's where they are selling it.
So it is fall when you can get those nice pumpkin-looking
sort
liqueurs.
Of fall, yeah. 99 degrees of fall.
And now we're going to continue our look at the Epcot International Food and Wine merchandise. These are the pass holder glasses.
And there is a Remy one, again, my favorite. 25 years of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. And I don't know if these will end up becoming, more of a where anybody can buy them, merchandise. Some of it's not selling as quickly now just because there's not as many guests.
Right. And they're sort of mixed. I mean, they do have special pass holder kiosks where, you have to order it over the
counter.
Yeah, it's true. Like what we're looking at now over the counter. But then I found them inside the Emporium, and anybody could not Emporium, the mouse gear, the temporary mouse gear. So, and in that case, you could just pick them up and walk around with it. So I don't know if they're checking to see if you're a pass holder. I imagine they would.
And, I just think the Remy glass is so cool. So even if I wasn't a pass holder, I might want it. So there's a couple different Tervis tumblers. One of them we are looking at, and this one has Figment on it.
I'm drinking from really a Figment Tervis tumbler right now, actually.
From the Flower and Garden Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of rainbow items, especially when they have to do with Figment. I'm not sure what the line would be called because they generally have names for them. And then there is a mug with Figment. I really like all the Figment merchandise as well. So, a couple of my favorite characters are on some of these mugs, not only a lot of the merchandise.
And of course, it wouldn't be a festival without the little trash can, the dining table of choice at these festivals.
Yes, and they always have trash cans now. Some kind of trash can, the salt and pepper shakers. And then there are magnets, and I have no idea what is this. I don't know what this is.
You know
I didn't even look at it.
I don't even know what that is.
I can't even tell what it is.
I can tell you what this is,
It's
though.
a Figment Ornament. And Disney's really gone into more ornaments lately. Right now, if you walk around World Showcase, you'll see some new World Showcase ornaments for Italy and France. So here is a food and wine festival. It's some kind of a shirt. And then a Brews Around the World growler.
I can always use another growler.
I know, because you're always using them.
But nice cups, too bad. We need another house just for all our cupware, drinkware.
Well, I do get a lot of Tervis. I like Tervis tumblers. It's not like I'm buying one every week. I'm buying masks a lot, though, now. But we have quite a bit of Tervis.
And you have wine glasses here, more glasses, just so much stuff out
25 years of cheers. And you can see why, in my head, I kind of knew about the 25 years, but there's something about having the merchandise come out and just really accentuating 25 years, 25 years of food and wine. And it really will be missed, having those concerts and Party for the Senses and all the events and stuff that comes with this time of year.
And I noticed it says taste your way around the world, and it's interesting because these shirts were obviously designed before the name change for the festival, because they are still called the Epcot International Food and Wine, but it's actually the taste of Flower and Garden Food and Wine.
No, yeah, well, right now it's the taste of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
Okay.
It was sort of a mix. Like when it first opened, they were still getting rid of flower and garden merchandise, and I think there was a little bit of flower and garden food. It really is now going straight into
it's full force.
Food and Wine
Okay,
Festival.
so we've dropped any connection to Flower and Garden.
Yes.
I wasn't sure. Like you said, it was kind of both festivals at once at the beginning.
It was, and they said that it was going to be a little bit of both. But now they're really embracing, we're heading into that season where it really is just food and wine at this point.
And they even have magic bands. They have all kinds of Queen of Cuisine. There we go. We could use some more bowls.
You know what? I'm not anti-bowl, so maybe we'll get one.
We actually are in need of such a thing.
Could use another bowl. And then there's coasters, and as you walk around World Showcase, you can see the various different merchandise items. I took this video with the iPhone. I just thought it looked really nice. The sun was setting.
Yeah, it was dusk. It's very pretty. And here's a look at Paris, one of our favorite places, because we had to go back once again. We forgot about this delicacy.
Oh yeah, there's the macaron special edition. And we didn't forget. It was, they just started this about a week ago. You can normally get the other set of macarons, but this is just 3 limited edition ones: blackberry, raspberry lime, and orange chocolate. I don't know how long they're going to be selling them for. They're really good. Now, I took this video. Just kind of wanted to show that Epcot's not totally empty. There is life to the park. You can see in the evening, guests are enjoying food and drinks, and rides don't really get as popular right now. You don't see guests on rides as much. You're seeing them heading straight to World Showcase and getting something to eat and drink.
And here is the Chefs de France, one of our favorite restaurants that we have had great memories over the years. And unfortunately, it is
it's
closed
still closed
at the moment.
And Monsieur Paul as well is closed. But yeah, and we were talking about this before the show. That this used to be not a covered area. I have dined here many times many years ago.
Can you imagine without the canopy when it was in full sun?
Well, I don't remember the full sun part. There was a covering, but just not the air conditioning. And when you had a storm, they would put plastic down.
Yes.
And I remember rain coming in. It was good when they actually, enclosed it.
Yeah, I saw a picture recently. I think one of Martin's or somebody, when it first opened in '82, it was just nothing, just tables. And I can't even imagine that here. This is something that you like very much, these window displays.
I know, we kept going back just to try to get better photos of them, not as glary.
It was worth it, by the way, because I compared them, and the darker it gets, the nicer the photos looked.
And it's Minnie Mouse. She is the only character here as a queen of cuisine. There are 3 windows. And the one window has merchandise, and the others are really just kind of flanking her with some decor.
It was very nice to be able to walk out of the park with really nobody around and enjoy the park at nighttime. There was one of the World Showcase shops was closed, and I was able to get a little clip through the window showing the Halloween merchandise. So it's even coming into Epcot.
It is interesting to see the park at night like this, and so many guests will leave certainly much quicker because there's no nighttime show.
Right.
It wasn't totally empty, but by the time we headed out, there weren't too many guests, not as many guests behind us. It made for a very nice night. And it will be a while before we see it, quite this dark again.
Yeah, any park, really. I think it'll at least be a month or 2 before we're able to enjoy a park like this with illuminated after dark times.
Well, I mean, sunset starts at 7, so we're going to get to see it darkish, and then every day we're going to gain a little bit more darkness earlier, so it'll be a little while, but I look forward to it.
And that is another show. We want to thank our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mousefan Travel.
Check them out. Again, there's specials for this year, but of course, you may be looking to 2021 to get past 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for this year, definitely, they've been in business, again, 22 years now. It's a really long time, and they're just a fantastic agency.
Well, especially with all the unknowns, it's very helpful to have a travel agent in your corner, especially
Absolutely.
when the resorts keep changing if they're going to be open or closed or whatever.
And they can make any changes and just let you know what's going on, that you need to know before your trip. This coming week, we are doing Magic Kingdom on Tuesday, actually City Works Monday. for the Rock and Roll Brunch.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, we're heading to the Magic Kingdom. We were going to try just a few of their special items for the holidays that have, or the, for Halloween time that already have started coming out.
I look forward to that. That should be nice.
And we can check out Gaston's Tavern. They have, I guess, a gray stuff right now that you can pick up.
Just what we need. The
I
gray
know.
stuff.
We need all kinds of stuff. And then I know we're doing Gatorland on Friday and possibly a little Epcot, but I don't know if we're doing
Because we don't get enough of Epcot.
I love Epcot. I love to go to Epcot.
So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week. Stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you all next week.
Stay safe and have a great week.